Beats Planet.
Totally transparent and just 100% about this thing. I was actually just telling Law Nation I got the best theme song in the game, and that's out of respect because I love his as well. However, I just think, boy, Law Nation got a fantastic theme song. However, I just think mine's a little bit. What's good though, man? I wasn't even gonna be doing nothing like this. I was just sitting up, minding my business, watching film, going through the motions and all that. Brother Law Nation hit the phone and say, "Yo, Voch, I got time. You wanna?" Boom, boom, boom. I say, sure, let's run it. And y'all already know why my man Space Cowboy here, because I'm trying to get him to 5,000 subs by December. So y'all go sub to his channel. Y'all already know Law Nation because he's fantastic. But what's good, fellas?
Oh, man, everything. The sun and the moon. Yeah.
So I was taking a walk the other day. And I'm very in tune to what people are saying about the Dallas Cowboys. And I've always, every year Super Bowl for us, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause, we're fans of whatnot, right? But what I'm seeing a lot more of now, and I'll say it because I ain't soft. Brett Coleman, right? I kind of saw Brett Coleman. Shots fired. Who cares? I saw Brett's tweet or whatnot, and he was saying something along the lines of, "Yo, Dallas had the best team in the NFC last year, and their window is closing, but their quarterback is just something along those lines. Their quarterback is holding them back." And you take that on top of what other people have been saying in terms of, yo, y'all may have the best roster, y'all may have a top 5 roster. In my mind, in Voch's mind, the roster just got that way. We ain't been walking on sunshine like the whole, Deontay Thompson started at wide receiver last year. You know what I'm saying? What's my man? The cornerback that played
Cole Beasley, Deontay Thompson, Allen Hurns, and we even went and got Bryce Butler.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know where he was thinking. And then on top of that, if you add in the fact that we had a Swain, a Schultz, a Rico,
sure.
I say, how is this the top roster?
Yeah,
I'm like, where's this guy? I know a lot of people trust his words, but to me, I don't know where he was thinking. And then on top of that, we had Looney as the sitter. So he going to have to explain himself. I don't know how he going to sit up there and say, well, the Cowboys had the top roster of all time last year.
It's crazy.
I would say,
go ahead.
I would argue that at the end you can make an argument, but I would say at this particular juncture, they have an argument. But 2018, I would say they're not the best team in the NFC at that point. I would have said that they were one of the best, but not the best.
And I would still kind of quasi feel that because in the back half of the season, adding Cooper and all that, sure. Yeah, you can say that, but we only lost, 2 games with Coop? Twice? Or something like that? Maybe 3, Tennessee, Colts, and Rams. We only lost 3 games. So if you put that into a whole season's format, then you add Randall Cobb and you add this draft class that we got, and you add these other free agents. Maybe now, if we had this roster last year, then maybe you can have that conversation with me. But you can't have that conversation with me, fam.
Yes, indeed. You couldn't have that conversation last year. But like you said, if you think about this, if you think about the Saints, the backup running back.
Sure.
I mean, who was our backup running back? I'll wait.
Brother Roderick. Brother Roderick. And you know what? And if you think about the big dogs that we're going up against, right? The Saints, the Rams, they got 2 running backs. Green Bay got 2 running backs. The Falcons got 2 running backs. And we just kind of had Zeke, and when Zeke gets tired, all right, y'all want to go empty and throw something short till Zeke ain't tired no more? y'all want to figure something out? So I don't know where this whole Dallas y'all wasting that talented roster. I don't know what y'all getting there from. Adam Redmond started a game last year. Stop it.
Nah,
Philo, your boy.
yeah, your boy. No, but when you look at last year, you bring up the point of two running backs. You look at the top teams in the NFC. You look at the Saints,
Sure.
the Rams,
Bears.
the Seahawks, the Bears.
Sure.
Oh man, that
Tariq
Cohen,
Cohen,
Sure.
and at that point, yeah, like every one of the
Jordan
most successful,
Howard, yeah.
yeah, all the top teams had some form of a, not even just them having a backup, but them able to continue to run and do what they got to do on offense to keep them going.
Sure.
The same, and listen, we got destroyed by a two-headed monster in the Rams.
Yeah.
We went, and I'm telling you, like the Cowboys needed that, especially going into last season. I think that was probably one of the biggest points. Obviously, there were other positions we needed to focus on, but looking at last season, I would say that they were at that point in time the fourth best team, not because of their seeding, but honest to God, I felt they were the fourth best team in the conference. But
Sure.
now they definitely have an argument for top team in the conference, and that's not illegitimate. It's not an illegitimate argument to make.
The one thing that really makes me excited, and yes, we got two running backs now. Shout out to y'all. Something that really makes me excited is that we didn't have any big free agent losses. You know what I mean? Like these other teams that were at the top, like they gained some guys, sure, but they lost some guys. Like they had to play that game of switch out or whatever. We didn't lose anybody. The only guy that we really had possibly, could lose was like D-Law, and we signed him. He's back. Cool. He's locked in. Besides that, we lost complimentary people. And we have, in my opinion, we've upgraded the complimentary pieces. Our first team, we never really had an issue talking about them. But I think our depth is better than it's ever been. Like, ain't no Nolan Carrolls this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be all gangsters rolling out day one. And that makes me excited. And I named this video Cowboy Talk Super Bowl ? Or whatever, right? Because the pundits ain't gonna say it. That's cool. Don't let them say it. Don't let them say it. I want them to still think we got the best offensive line in the league. I want them to think that we still doing bad at cornerback and D-line, right? I want them to think their broad football view. But I sincerely think Super Bowl is in the cards here. It's in the cards here. If you take the same team that we had last year, this playoff team, and that we lost by one possession last year, then you add a top tier pass rusher to it. You add this veteran wide receiver that's done it, that's dynamic, that gives you more verticality in your wide receiver sets or whatnot. You get your rotation, you get depth, you get your offensive line healthy again. You ain't even have your damn Pro Bowl center last year.
Yeah.
Him back. So we're adding somebody at every level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's run it.
And you also look at what we did in the offseason and including the draft. And this is what killed the Cowboys last season to start off. They lost a lot of pieces. And it showed early on. That's why we were 3-5, and people be like, "Well, it's kind of no." Like that's like when you have a huge roster turnover, you're going to experience some pains there. Now you look at the departures compared to the re-signings and signings. The Cowboys have managed to kind of balance that out, even though the departures are still larger than the re-signing. If you include the draft as well, the Cowboys have retained more players and brought in more players than they've lost, and I think that's a huge factor going into this season. I think that's why you look at 2018. That's why I think they got. I mean, and there's other reasons why they got off on the wrong foot. Yeah. But I mean, and you bring up Super Bowl, it is definitely in the conversation at this point. And people might say, "Oh, you're just being ridiculous. You're being delusional." Well, not really, because you look at this roster, and you can't really see I mean, you could point at certain things like, "Well, this person can do better, and this person can do better." Obviously. But when I look at every single position, I can sit there and objectively say, I'm comfortable with what we got there. Obviously, backup quarterback, kicker. Right. Yeah, I got question marks here and there. But other than that.
But you know what? Good. I was just telling Law that shit. Like he said, well, Voch, I still got reservations about my kicker. I'm like, bro, that's all we got to worry about.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
Good.
That is good. If we only have to worry about backup quarterback and kicker, like remember a year ago we were complaining about offensive. We were saying, hey, we need offensive line depth. We need depth. That's what we need.
Sure.
And now that we've gotten it,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah. I was the past 40 seconds, right? The past 40 seconds, I've been trying to think of a way to say this without being controversial, but I simply can't. So first of all, shouts out to Lord Brunson. He's been real active in the Dallas Cowboy community. He's an Eagles YouTuber. I don't understand how, on our airways, but whatever. He's active. And the one thing, because I'm a fan of Law Nation, so I watch his show, and I'm a fan of Mark, I'm a fan of Okoye, I'm a fan of all y'all, so I watch y'all show. So I've seen a lot of Lord Brunson content, right? And people ask me, yo, Voch, when are you going to debate Lord Brunson? And in my mind, I'm not, because I'm going to constantly say one thing. The Cowboys beat the Eagles last year without Randall Cobb and without Robert Quinn and with Leighton Vander Esch not in his man body and with Connor Williams not in his man body and without depth at D-line and without having dynamic Tony Pollard. You know what I'm saying? Like, we beat the Saints, the Eagles, the Falcons, the Seahawks without these guys. Then we add them, right? Then we add to what we doing. They lost people. You can look whether it be the Saints losing Ingram or the Eagles, they lost a handful of guys or whatever. I'm not their channel. Y'all go look for them. They lose people. We ain't lost a soul. But we adding Pro Bowlers. We're adding young talent. We're adding depth. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to get into a conversation with a Eagles YouTuber or a Saints YouTuber, Deuce Wyndham, shouts out to you, because we beat them with Linehan.
And another thing I want to bring up too is the fact that, when we're bringing up the Eagles 2016 season, what was their questions going into their offseason? And I even, I live in the Philadelphia area or the South Jersey area, so I have to hear all the conversations. Mm-hmm. They say we need depth, we need help with wide receiver, all this stuff.
Right.
They go out and do it. Next thing you know, they become a Super Bowl team. The Cowboys do literally the exact same thing, and all of a sudden we trash and we aren't as good as you.
Let them think it. Cameron Fleming was at left tackle when we beat the Saints.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, somebody said you forgot to leave. You left out Travis Frederick wasn't there.
Travis wasn't there. Yeah. So, what argument, Linehan? What argument do you have? Like, that's as objective as I can be. Like, I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm a homer. I'm taking the Cowboys side. You can say whatever you want to say. How more objective can I be than to say, hey, man, look, we beat you with this. I beat you with Super Saiyan 2, my guy. You want me to get the long hair? You want me to come back with the long hair? I don't know, man. I just think I don't think it's an argument worth having. It's not a conversation worth having. I mean, we can lose against any of those teams, but we can beat all of them. Even the Patriots. Even the Patriots.
Yeah, I think we could beat any team on that schedule, and that is no exaggeration. Like, I look at every single team we're facing. Mm-hmm. I can have an argument for why we could beat every team. It's not stupid.
Well, let's get into it then. Should we add it? So I'm looking at my schedule because I got this fancy little wallpaper schedule on my cell phone there, and I ain't got to go too far to take a look at it. Ain't nobody worried about the Giants and Redskins. Let's just get that out the way. No. I don't care about the Bills or the Dolphins or the Jets. Our big fights, right? Saints, Patriots, Rams, Bears, Eagles twice, right? Like those are our big fights. Are there any of those games that you don't feel good about?
I think we can't sleep on the Redskins. I think that
I agree with that.
Man, we're going to beat the shot at the Redskins.
Them Bama boys, right?
We're going to beat the shot at the Redskins. Okay, but
and they got a good running back.
There's only 2 games, maybe 3 that I have my reservations about. Those are the Saints the Bears and the Patriots games because we're on the road and because of the environments we're playing in at that specific time. Since we're playing in Chicago at the end of the year when it's getting cold in the winter. You look at the Patriots, well, I mean, it's November, but still, and the environments of those teams. And those are really the only games that I'm like, I don't know. But other than that, I can definitely see us winning any other game on the schedule.
Brother
What
Law
about
Nation.
that Green Bay
No,
game?
no,
You
no,
think
no,
that's
no,
gonna
no,
be a
no, no, no,
litmus
no,
test?
no. Stop
Go
it.
ahead,
We're
talk to me.
not gonna walk past this Redskins thing, Law. Wait a minute, we're not gonna walk past that shit. We gonna get back to Green Bay. We're gonna get back to Green Bay. We're gonna walk past this Redskins. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that my man's I forgot his name because I ain't even in draft season no more. Like I know everybody in May and April, but as soon as draft season over, I just forget people. What's my man play quarterback for them now? The rookie Ohio State, Dwayne Haskins. So do you think Haskins is gonna beat Colt McCoy out for the job in week 2? Week 2?
I thought they got the other
Case
kid,
Keenum.
Case Keenum.
He's their starter. until now.
That's even better. Okay, so cause look, I at least have seen Colt McCoy beat us before. You know what I'm saying? I've at least seen that. Case ain't beat us yet. So Law, you think Haskins / Keenum can beat us in week 2? Like
I think that it can give us a little issue there with the running back Geis and the other guy Adrian Peterson. I think that they can run, but this will be a good test against our front four. Remember last year we were kind of grasping for air because we had a guy named Daniel Ross out there and Reed and them boys. So I'm thinking that this year it still may be a game where we still try to get our feet from under us. You know, we just going into the second game of the week. It can be a struggle little game right there. You know, with their running approach and also their front four.
this how good we are now.
Talk to me.
3 of those D linemen starting last year might not be starting this year. Malik, Antoine, and Randy. Well, Randy wasn't even playing, so Tyrone, whatever. Tyrone might be playing, but Covington might take Antoine Wood's job because I'm watching film and I'm about to do a video soon. Covington can take Antoine's job. It's possible. Young Tristan Hill with his ball get off. I'm not an OTAs, I'm not a reporter. I wasn't there. So based on what I'm hearing, young Tristan could take Malik Collins' job.
Malik Collins. Yeah.
That could be a thing. I was sitting back thinking, right? Because I was bored. I was like, man, what would our third D line look like? And that's like what? Taco Dorrance, Tristan Hill, and what's my man? Price.
Price. Yeah.
Dayton Jones, whatever.
Dayton Jones. Yeah.
I'm like, man, like that's the line that we almost ran out for them last year. And that's our third line. You know what I mean? We gonna beat the shit out the Redskins, Law. If we can block them up front, if we can block these teams up front, it's not a soul on this schedule I'm scared of. I ain't scared of Tom Brady. I ain't scared of Aaron Rodgers because we beat them last year, Super Saiyan 2. We beat the Lions last year, Super Saiyan 2. We beat the Eagles twice, Super Saiyan 2. We got long hair now. And you know, Law, you a little older, so I don't know if you get the reference. I know Space Cowboy get it. But we got the long hair now. I don't fear a soul. Like that shit I was saying last year, I have no fear of them. I'm going to give you 16 games of that this year. I really don't. I'm really hoping Tom Brady falls off the ledge like Peyton did his last year, and his elbow just hurt, and he can't feel his hand, and he just can't play. Like I'm just hoping for all that, but I'm not saying we going undefeated. I'm not saying that. I would rather us lose 2 or 3 games. I don't want to, But fam, I ain't scared of none of these people, dog. I'm excited. I can't wait.
It depends on the matchups. Like even if the Cowboys, well, not even if, I feel like they will. Like when they get to the playoffs, it's like even the matchups. Like, do they match? And we don't know who's obviously we don't know who's going to be there. And that's another thing is like I think what kills the Cowboys when they get to the divisional round is just the teams they match up against. It's just a bad matchup. Where like not even a bad matchup because I would argue that the Rams and the Cowboys matched up very well. It's just then you have those games where it's just like they take a break and it's like. Are you kidding me? Like you can't, and that's the part that I think bugs me the most is just like the luck we get with in that second round. I mean,
People just don't understand that playoff teams are good teams.
oh yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
yeah, I mean they're there for a reason.
You know what I'm saying? Playoff teams are good teams. That's bound to happen. Brother Law Nation, what if I gave this bit of information? What if I told you that the GOAT, Eric Flowers, was starting at left guard for the Redskins? What if I told you that shit?
Oh, we gonna eat on that side. You know, it's different far as what it was last year. But if Eric Flowers out there, my God,
You gonna
we
beat
gonna eat.
this? You gonna beat this shit out? Oh man, we got Fuster King trying to come up in here, so let me shoot him the link real fast. So let me ask y'all this while I'm setting this up: is there anything that can happen besides injury? Like, am I being a homer here for saying Cowboys Super Bowl? Like, what can happen that can get us out of like Super Bowl running? You know what I'm saying? Be devil's advocate. Tell me Dak just ain't that good. Tell me, oh, I'm a big PFF fan and Zeke ain't even a top running back according to PFF. Like, give me some information, some devil's advocate stuff that can really, be anti Super Bowl for the Cowboys.
I
Well,
mean,
week 3, week 4, Dak Prescott goes down. You insert Mike White. Cooper Rush.
even excluding the injury, like if we're just
Right.
assuming that the team's fully healthy, there could just be a situation where they just lose games at the last minute because just the one team happens to be playing better. You might have a tougher division. Like we don't know. Like I don't think New York or Washington's going to be hot next season, but I think that they can play spoiler for some of the top dogs, us in Philly. And
Right.
as a result, that can result us in losing a spot in the playoffs or making us go through the wild card round. There are also situations to where maybe there are certain players that, as they get older, they disappoint. Like more so, like Sean Lee, for example, since he's going to be assuming he's going to be starting. Like, what if he becomes a liability? Not saying he will be. I'm just saying like that is a factor. Like maybe Jason Witten, they keep starting him, and he's not as effective as he once was. There's that argument to where there's a situation where just teams play you better, and you just the tiebreakers you end up accumulating or going against you early on kills you later on. Hence, that happened to us in the 2017 season. But at the end of the day, like, look, obviously I'm playing devil's advocate, but that's my logic and reasoning to how you could possibly see the Cowboys miss the playoffs. But to be honest with you, dude, even with how the NFC is and looking at all the teams, they're at least getting in as either a wild card team or division winner.
That was a trick question. I just needed time to send the link to Foots.
I knew
There's
it.
nothing that can happen. There's nothing that can happen that can get the Cowboys out the damn Super Bowl.
But this would be a good test for us because since Jason Garrett tenure, what have you, after the great season or a good season, we fall kind of back a little bit. Remember 2007? After that year, 2008 occurred, and then after
Jessica Simpson,
2015 occurred.
Jessica Simpson was throwing off Tony. That wasn't Jason's fault. Jessica Simpson was ruining Tony. But yeah though, man. Like,
yeah,
I'm not worried about it. Like the only weird thing that can happen is like if we go 14-2, like the Eagles got to go like 15-1 or something. You know what I mean? Like something like that. And and that'll bump us down. Like that one year where we beat everybody except the Giants. That one annoying ass year, and they kind of got in the playoffs and lost the first week, and that was fun. But just something weird like that got to happen, man. I just
Or
foresee
some team
it.
gets hot and then like you run into them at the wrong time and then you don't show up. You were like something like that.
I'm telling you, man, I'm just waiting on Kellen Moore to do the right thing. This is something else I got to pat myself on the back too, but y'all don't give me no credit for this. Every time I get on this live stream or get on these videos, I say, hey man, Kellen Moore ain't got to be too cute. He ain't got to do nothing tricky. He just got to stick to the game plan and do a motion like this and like that. Then like a week later, Kellen Moore come out and say, hey man, we're not gonna get too cute. We just gonna do what we've been doing. We just gonna dress it up. And people hear that shit, they go, "Oh, snap, Kellen." That's the first time I've heard something like that. "Oh, you the greatest, Kellen." I'm like, fuck.
But I believe though, Voch, you did a film breakdown on the plays out of the same formation. That how many different plays that you could run out of that formation.
Yes, sir.
And I think what happened with Scott Linehan, his success was his failure. You know, with the Calvin, we had Calvin Johnsons, he had the Randy Mosses of the world,
Sure.
and then he had Dez Bryant for a stretch, and then he had quarterbacks that was pretty much during that time just natural throwers of the ball. So he was trying to do things just too bland for Dak Prescott. And then we look at Kellen Moore. Football been the same since day one. 11 versus 11. Nothing changed, right, Voch?
Yep. Yep.
So when you start looking at what Kellen Moore might bring to the table, the first thing that I heard from Ezekiel Elliott, he was saying, Kellen Moore, listen to us.
Yeah.
I mean that speaks volumes. When the running back say, hey, he listened to us. And I think that there's no way, I know for sure, Voch, that if you was coaching this team as far as the offensive coordinator, you'd have got the ball. Ezekiel Elliott would have had more than 6 touchdowns last year.
Low, we going to the goddamn Super Bowl if Voch Lombardi coaching this thing.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
We go look, Law, we gonna go undefeated. Like we ain't gonna never lose a game if Voch offense coordinator. So let's just get that out the way.
Sure, he'll have more than 6 touchdowns for sure. Yeah.
I think
he'll have double. I believe that he's gonna lead Zeke. He's gonna lead the league in rushing, and he's gonna get some MVP votes.
I think part of what happened with Linehan is that his personnel kept changing, and he's not on this team anymore. So F him. But if you look at what we were doing in the 2014 administration, and to be fair, we were a damn good offense in the 2014 administration. We had vertical receivers. We had a vertical passer. We had a run game. So we would run, play action, vertical, big play, boom. We didn't have a problem with Linehan. And then 2015 happened, Tony got hurt, boom. Okay, cool, whatever. Then we totally switched the whole offense. The whole offense had to be changed because there's a whole different quarterback now. But the entire personnel didn't change. We still got vertical ass receivers. We still got Bryce, Terrence, and Dez there. And the only nuanced route runners we got is Beasley and Witten. And the only 2 guys that Dak would throw the ball to was Beasley and Witten. You know what I'm saying? Because those were the guys that fit Dak, the nuanced route runs, the guys that get open and catch the ball. And once we changed it again, the personnel changed. We finally got route runners in here. The whole Bees, Gallup, Cooper situation. So when Cooper got there, Linehan was fine. Linehan was cool because the personnel matched. Now, could Linehan have been better? Sure. So in my mind, when I'm up here arguing, people think I'm a fan of Linehan. I'm not a fan of Linehan. I'm just anti-fan, not know what the fuck y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm just real anti that. But go ahead.
And my whole thing, and you bring up a fantastic point too, is that look, when you're now, it's not the fact that you're changing from quarterback to quarterback, just like you're just changing numbers and names. No, you're legit changing play style too, and that also plays a fact. Okay, so we're moving from a guy that can scramble and is a pocket passer to a guy that is now a dual threat quarterback that has some elements that you can use in a deep passing game, but like you don't sometimes have the personnel to do that. And the first year it worked. The next year it's kind of like, well, you're still kind of. That's why you have those growing pains, because and then people complain. Well, and then this is a thing that I have is like you're complaining, why can't Dak be like this guy? Well, Dak doesn't play like that guy.
Right.
He doesn't play like Tony Romo. I know it's no disrespect to Tony Romo, like when people like, well, Dak's better, or when Wentz is better than Dak, or X quarterback's better than Dak. Well, you got to look at how they play, right? Dak Prescott's a guy that will hand the ball off. He'll take the ball himself on read options and whatnot, and he'll get you in the end zone. That's what Bill Parcells, my favorite head coach, one of my favorite head coaches of all time. It doesn't matter how you get there, get your team in the red zone, and Dak Prescott does that. Yeah, sure, every quarterback does it differently, but comparing a guy that throws on average 300, like almost 30 to 40 times a game, getting on average 300 yards a game, obviously getting more statistics, is kind of stupid to do in regards to a guy that's a dual threat quarterback that's not going to get you that kind of I mean, he can. I'm not saying he can't, but it's just like I find that kind of dumb to do, in my honest opinion.
Y'all need to sub to this man channel and quit playing. Space Cowboy 17. He's in the chat box. Click him. 1 point, Lord. I'm gonna let you go real fast.
Yeah.
One thing people really like piss me off about, right? Like they talk with no evidence, right? They was always like, well, why aren't we throwing down the seams? Well, who the fuck we got that's gonna run down the seams? Like our one seam running guy work for damn Monday Night Football now. So who Cole Beasley not gonna run down the seams? And it's crazy that once Blake Jarwin figured out the leverage running up the seams, we got 3 touchdowns versus the Giants running up the seams. Like if people just do a little bit of homework, you ain't gotta be like a pro level scout. You ain't gotta be a pro coach. But if you do a little bit of homework, people wouldn't say a lot of dumb shit that they say. You know what I'm saying? People actually think that if there's an advantage that the Cowboys aren't going to use it because we're stupid or that we're racist. Oh, we have an advantage with Rico Gallis, but we're not going to use him because he's a black tight end. How about when we throw the ball to Rico, he don't look for the football? And that can get somebody hurt or that can get the pass tipped off. How about that? Think, people. Focus.
Think. And then one can argue this right here too. Dak Prescott's best balls that thrown are the seam routes. He throws a pretty good seam ball. But the only problem that Dak Prescott probably have is like the fade and probably the deep post. But outside of that, I think he can make all of those throws pretty well. And if we look at what, I guess if you talk about what Kellen Moore is going to be able to do. Remember, 2016, what? Tony Romo got hurt. What the final the
third preseason game?
Third preseason game, the dress rehearsal, and they were scrambling. They said, "Okay, what we need to do to get this kid operational and to be able to play, we would play to his strengths." That's what I think. What happened in 2016? Everybody played to the strengths of Dak Prescott, and then after that year, they said, "You know what? We're going to try to critique some things, and we want you to stay in the pocket a little bit more. We want you to pass from this base. We want you to do this little thing here." And that just wasn't his cup of tea. So moving forward to 2000, I'm going to skip 2000, the last year, moving forward to this year, I see that the young John Kitna and Kellen Moore, they're going to figure out ways to put him in the right positions to do and play towards his strengths.
Mm-hmm. Can I imagine
especially when your coach got his back against the wall?
You want tell me you want to know it's a good ass strength having 3 good receivers and a good running back and a good offense. That's a hell of a strength. You want to know it's a strength not getting sacked 58 times, but you strong as hell when you don't get sacked 58 times. Please go ahead, SC.
No. See, what's interesting about Dak, and I kind of started to realize this because I've been looking at how I've been watching the games from last year over and over again. Not even just like the games from like that footage, but also in all 22 as well. Dak Prescott is doing, he does all the hard things that a quarterback typically takes years to develop really easily. And then the stuff that you kind of do, the simple stuff, sometimes sometimes he overlooks that. I'm not saying he can't do this stuff. I'm just saying I find that interesting because every time Dak Prescott gets blitzed, he beats it. He will find the dump off and he'll get, good yardage. He'll make the smart play.
I'll tell you why. Because quarterback is an intangible position and they don't get good until they're close to 30. And so Dak may not have all the quarterback shit right now from the neck up. Dak ain't got all the neck up quarterback stuff right now because he's 24? 24?
Right. He's 25. He'll
25?
be 26.
25? Come on, man. For real? Come on. And the other stuff, that's just having ice in your veins. That's just having nerves. I was watching the Giants game in week 17, and I was only watching it because I was about to put this shut y'all ass up talking crazy about taco film session. I was gonna put that together. But I just sat and watched Dak Prescott versus the Giants, man. And I'm like, bro, Dak had nobody. They said, you know what? Second team and Dak run out there. And the Giants are still a pro football team. And Dak is doing shit like evading passers, keeping his eyes downfield. The real intangible stuff. And I think it's something about if it's the end of the game, is week 17. You're in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Then to be 4th and 15 or some goofy ass shit like
15. Mm-hmm.
and for you to find Cole Beasley in the back of the end zone and you didn't need to,
Right.
that's different.
Yeah. And put it right on the dot too. It's not even like it like just duck sailed into the end zone. No, like he put that ball right on the dot.
Kirk Cousins ain't got that in him. I've seen Kirk Cousins fold up in big games, let alone a game that don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying?
Like a lawn chair.
I'll say this: every big game Dak has been in, he wasn't the problem. He wasn't the problem. We lost to the Rams. He wasn't the problem.
We the one that kept us in the game.
Right. We lost to the Packers 2 years ago. Dak was fine. Aaron Rodgers just made an ignorant ass Aaron Rodgers throw that we could do nothing about. But in terms of Dak having a shootout with the greatest, Dak was fine in all those games. It's just his complimentary pieces got to be all there with him. Now, is Dak perfect the whole time? No, but we don't fucking pay quarterbacks for being perfect the whole time because none of them are. Pat ain't perfect the whole time. Shit, Pat's magical. Now, I will push Dak Prescott off a bridge for Pat Mahomes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, bro, like, I wouldn't trade that dude for, like, a Matt Stafford or something till he's been in the league for 10 years and I still can't figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? I've got him an offensive line. I've got him a running back. I still can't figure it out. Dak has taken what we've given him, including Linehan, and he's never had a losing season. Mm-hmm. Pay my guy. Pay my guy and quit playing.
Yes, indeed. And then we got to look at this, too. What a lot of people are doing collectively is that they looking at the young Russell Wilson and they thinking that he won them that Super Bowl. They're looking at the Ben Roethlisbergers and they thinking he won them that Super Bowl. They're looking at what Tom Brady did when they was in their young careers and they said, okay, Dak Prescott's supposed to do the exact same thing. But people fail to realize those guys didn't win the Super Bowl by themselves.
Hell no.
And Law, not only I vividly remember during those Super Bowls, especially Big Ben's first and Russell Wilson's first. You know what the topic of discussion was? Russell Wilson didn't win him that Super Bowl. He got carried. He's not that good of a quarterback. Then look what happens 5 years later. They're one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
Didn't the one of them Super Bowls Ben went like 6 for 25 or some dumb shit like that? Like something like ridiculously bad and they still won?
I think that was the first one versus the Seahawks. I think. Let
me look this shit up. But Ben was terrible in one of them damn Super Bowls. But it doesn't matter because he wins. He won the game. That's it. So I just don't understand this narrative. How all of a sudden we pay quarterbacks for can they throw the ball deep or can they accurately do this? I mean, wins.
Yeah. This is it. Ben Roethlisberger, 9 for 21, 123 yards, 2 interceptions with a passer rating of 22.6.
That is insane.
And they still won.
Yeah.
That is insane. Send me that link, Space Cat. Put that shit in my Twitter.
Hey, put that in my Twitter too.
I'm gonna tweet the shit out. Bro,
Dude,
that
the Seahawks should have won that Super Bowl. They should have. If you look at the stats and people, and that's the one people complain about the refs, and I'm one of them too.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm telling you, look, let me look at this. Where is it?
Space Cowboy about to be my stat guy. Y'all gonna follow that boy.
The guru.
Dude, Antoine Randall L had a better passer rating.
Will you stop it?
Antoine Randall L threw the longest pass of that entire Super Bowl as a perfect passer with a touchdown, and I remember that play vividly. Matt Hasselbeck played a better game.
Damn.
And still lost.
Ben really wasn't great till he was like 27 though.
Yeah, I think definitely the second Super Bowl he played in, he was much better.
And the same for Tom, and the same for
No. Use one of the greatest, Peyton Manning. You know, a lot of people were saying, "Well, Peyton Manning."
Shit, Peyton Manning was good in year 2.
But he had Adrian James. I was telling a lot of people on my gram is that a lot of times these young quarterbacks they had help too. It is like, oh, Dak Prescott got Ezekiel Elliott. He should be like da 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 da. But what I'm saying is that Peyton Manning had Adrian James, and also, wouldn't you love to have that coach on your side?
I feel you. I feel you on that.
Yeah,
I feel
they
you.
had one of them good coaches out there.
But that's what we got to do though. Like we got to find the greatest of all time to put their ass against Dak. Why we not having realistic conversations like, hey, is Dak better than Kirk Cousins? That's easy.
Matthew Stafford, because they're gonna say, well, Matthew Stafford didn't have weapons.
Motherfucker Ben
He
Roethlisberger.
don't have an Ezekiel Elliott. He don't have an offensive line. They come up with all type of excuses. I've been fighting for this for going on 2 years now with this Dak Prescott and the opposing teams and their weapons and stuff like that.
A
All I'm
damn.
gonna say is, in Dak Prescott's first three postseason games, he has a better stat line than Tom Brady and Russell Wilson.
Oh, don't say that. Don't
Say it again.
people
Say it
don't
again.
like the
Time
truth.
out. Time out. Time out. Say that shit again. What was that? Say it again.
In three postseason games, their first three postseason games between Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, and Tom Brady, Dak Prescott has a better stat line than all of them. People will complain to me and they'll be like, "But Space Cowboy, they at least won the Super Bowl." Here's the thing: Dak Prescott in every single game, and we just talked about this, has done enough to get this team a W. If you look at every single game, with the exclusion of the Seahawks game, because we did win that game, the Rams game and the Packers game, if the defense holds their own, we win those games.
Space Cowboy. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That shit sounded bad when you said it, but I'm looking at it. I'm looking at this Ben Roethlisberger stat line. This shit make my back itch, dog.
I definitely go ahead. I gotta go. I'm gonna make some
That motherfucker went 9 for 21 for 123. Where the rest of your yards at? What are you doing?
And speaking of yards, I remember looking at the stat line in space. You might got it over there. The Russell Wilson. You remember every game last year? He can't pass for 300 yards. He can't pass for 300 yards. If you look up Russell Wilson's first 3 years, he didn't pass for over 180 yards average on an average base. I think it's somewhere around that number.
His longest pass was 8 yards. At least when they talk about Dak, they say he can't throw 15. They tell Dak, well, when is Dak gonna make a pass past 15 yards? Ben ain't make one past 8.
I'm looking at Russell Wilson's stats real quick.
This shit looks so terrible.
Like, look, Russell Wilson. Well, you could say, well, he did throw more touchdowns than Dak Prescott, and he did. But here's the thing: he threw more interceptions, and Dak Prescott, funny enough, threw more yards in his first 3 years than Russell Wilson.
Yes, but look, we ain't got to do that. Look, we ain't got to do that. Wait, we ain't got to do that. He outpassed Russ this year, and he outpassed Goff this year. This year in the playoffs.
You know what?
He shouldn't get $33 million.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna say this, and I don't care what anyone tells me. At the end of Dak Prescott's career, he will be the best statistical quarterback. And if he wins a championship, in my mind, he'll be the best quarterback that's ever played the position for the Cowboys.
Hey man, you only need one Super Bowl to be a Hall of Famer, you know. So yeah.
Listen, hey, and people might think I'm stupid, delusional. Well, here's the thing, man. You look at every other Cowboys quarterback that's played. Dak Prescott is on pace to have a much better career in terms of statistics.
Sure.
And Tony Romo.
And wins.
Yeah, that too. Roger Staubach, Danny White, Troy Aikman, and that's no disrespect to the people that came before him.
According to Brett Collerman,
he's
holding his team back tremendously. Kellerman.
Max Kellerman, you said?
Nah, Brett Coleman, but
I thought you said Max Kellerman. I'm like,
Law from Mississippi.
Law from
I'm playing with you.
Law from Mississippi, yeah.
You know, and I don't want to keep going on, but look, it's just funny how some people can say Dak Prescott's holding back this team when I've seen other teams like who like the Jaguars, for example, are a good example of them being held back by a quarterback. Who else? I'm trying to think of a couple other teams.
The Lions.
The Lions. Oh, the Lions.
Oh, look at Lions.
Dude, I forgot they even existed. I'm honest.
Matt Stafford had a whole Megatron out here, dog. I ain't done nothing with it.
Name me a year that Matt Ryan never had outside weapons. Name me 1 year.
I think Julio was there the whole time.
Never. because he had Roddy White at first,
Yeah.
and he was great. And then he had Julio Jones, and then they just surrounded him with other good receivers that can get open.
So they're gonna have to get off my quarterback, dog. Let's see how long we've been doing this, man. Because Foots ain't showing up, you know.
I was gonna say like I'm waiting, waiting during.
Foots ain't clicked that button. Okay, let's do some Q&A in the chat box for like 5 minutes. Then we're gonna wrap this thing up. Law, when you got to be free to go take care of your media obligation appearance situation.
I told him let's swing for next to tomorrow. So we free.
Oh, okay.
We free like 99. We free.
Cool.
Free like 95.
Chat box. Let's see what y'all talking about. Let's see what y'all talking about.
Let's see.
And if y'all ain't talking about nothing, we just gonna go because we just go. I think we had a pretty good show. Nick Foles is another example. Like Nick Foles may not be the pretty name that you want, but that son bitch win ball games, and I'll take that every day of the week, man. I'll take that every day of the week.
We have a kicker problem. Me personally, I would say I put that on hold because I feel like you say that when not after you have 1 year of a rookie kicker.
Tell you what.
No. You let Jeff Heath kick the short kicks.
That's
you let Brett Mayheart kick the long kick.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
How about we just go? Just get in the end zones. We ain't gotta worry about that shit.
Exactly. Like that's a good point. Why the hell we need to be worried about field goals? Just get touchdowns.
I will say though, the Falcons kicker Matt Bryant, he's still a free agent, and look, he may cost you like $4 million, but like, go get that motherfucking quit playing. Just like go get Matt Bryant and just not have to worry about kicking no more. But you know Dallas like to ruin kickers for whatever reason. So I don't know. But yeah, we did pick up another fullback. But look, I keep saying this though, man. We can talk all this fullback shit if we want, man. But it's gonna be towards the end of August, early September, and we're gonna have to make a decision. Do we keep Kerry Hyder that Voch just did a film session on? Y'all go check it out. Or do we keep this punk-ass fullback? And they're going to have a conversation with themselves. They're going to have to look themselves in the mirror and be like, fam, do we really need this
What
fullback?
fullback we done picked up now?
Somebody that ain't going to make the team. Somebody that ain't going to make. I'm not even worried about the cat that ain't going to make the team. I'm worried about Jamez. I want Jamez up out of here.
Man, what Jameez do to you?
What Jamez Olawale?
Dropping passes in the end zone and shit.
Hey, that was the only time they ran him out there. He was cold, man.
Listen, man, let me tell you something. If we gonna run you, if you only got one time to shine and we gonna throw you the ball, we gonna say in the huddle, all right, now Jamez, we going to you. And he say, okay, coach. And we throw you that bitch and you drop it.
So how do you feel about Noah Brown then?
Noah Brown can go.
Go.
And look.
Who guy's gonna go then? That's what I want to know.
And look, Law, this ain't even me hating on Noah Brown, but this your problem. You now have a top three that ain't going nowhere. That's Coop, Gallup, and Cobb. Now, the guys that were starting for you last year may not even make the team for you. Deontay Thompson, Tavon Austin, and Allen Hurns were starting for you last year. And Beasley was in the slot somewhere. Them guys can't start for you this year. So just me assuming Allen Hurns is probably going to be your fourth guy because he's versatile. He got a little bit of size. We've seen him do it before. He's reliable. The fifth guy, you got to have a real conversation. Tavon, John Vay, you just said him, the big guy, the big receiver that we don't. Noah Brown. We don't even use big receivers like that. We don't even use them.
Whenever they saw 85, the team was like, run!
Right.
Run formation.
So my problem with Noah Brown is he got to get in where he fit in. And he don't necessarily fit in. You know?
A lot of people talking about keep Reggie.
Reggie who?
Loving you is easy because
man, Reggie gonna be playing for the Falcons or something. Reggie, look.
Reggie Davis isn't he's not gonna make this team.
Look, I was looking up. I was trying to find film on Reggie Davis. First of all, I couldn't find none. But I was like, but then I had, he's not a rookie. Like Reggie Davis ain't a rookie. He's been in the league. He just ain't done shit in the league. Like he couldn't even.
Yeah.
I couldn't find Reggie Davis film as well.
Right.
They said he played for the Atlanta. He played for the Eagles.
And all that shit was 1 year. Like they and you know, and
What
then
about my other guy, man, Cedric?
he got to beat John Vay, Tavon, Noah, and Reggie.
I think it's gonna be between those two, John Vay and Cedric. That's whoever's getting on the roster. It's either gonna be Cedric or John Vay. I think one of them makes the roster and one goes.
You gonna lean if you like me, Space. You're gonna lean towards the faster guy, right?
No, yeah, absolutely.
So, man,
I mean, we don't really have a place for the big post up receiver. We don't. We like nuanced route runners and yak guys.
Because listen, look, Amari can post up people if need be, but that's not his forte.
Amari's the GOAT.
He is.
GOAT.
Dude, I love Amari. I loved him when he came in. I'm just ecstatic that he's on my team now.
This how I knew he was great. In one game, this was the Redskins game. Not only did he beat everybody, all the corners. That bitch ran a slant 4 different ways, and he beat everybody with a slant. I was like, this motherfucker cold. Look, man. When I'm doing Cowboy film sessions in the year, I try to put a little diversity in there so I'm not looking too repetitive. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. I just talked about Dak last week. Let me give Zeke some shine. Let me talk about the offensive line. It was 6 weeks in a row I did another Bakuk video.
It's just like a Ginzu blade.
Because look, this what he did. We lined up against the Eagles, and he whooped Jones. He whooped McLeod. He
left somebody ankles out there on the field.
He tore that boy ACL. He played against the Titans. He beat all their corners. I'm like, how you beat everybody corners?
Then the Eagles had a nerve not to even draft a corner.
Let him fly. We'll kick that. Whatever. We'll be that. Let a hand. We'll be there. Whatever. Fam, I saw like Cooper is different, and I know everybody ain't trying to pay nobody. Man, look, Coop got to get his money. If
Michael Thomas or Julio Jones, what are they trying to do?
Every penny. Because that's the way the league's going, man. The league, you look at these receivers nowadays, man. A lot of them are possession receivers. The big time receivers aren't possession. The people might throw DeAndre Hopkins, all right, whatever. But he's more you look at the best receivers, they're nuanced route runners.
I like how you said that, Space Cowboy. I should trademark that, but go ahead.
Well, trademark what?
Nuanced route runners. That's
nuanced route runners.
I'm gonna see a hoodie on Voch Lombardi show.
Yeah, listen, man, that should be our wide receiver group name, Nuanced Route Runners.
I got some pretty dope verbiage, man, but I ain't finna sit up and talk. But yeah, you know, people get annoying with the not wanting to pay people or that player doesn't deserve this dollar amount. Well, that's just what's gonna happen, man. Like, I can't listen to the radio shows anymore, like the Dallas radio shows, because they talk about the same shit and it pisses me off and makes me mad. Well, Dak doesn't deserve to be the 5th best player in the league. Let me tell you what's gonna happen.
Right.
Dak is gonna be the 5th most paid quarterback in the league. Cool, whatever. But motherfucker, when Pat get paid and when Aaron get paid again, and when Cam get paid, and with all these guys, like, Dak gonna be like 15th. And you gonna go, well, okay, well, shit, cool. All right. You gonna go.
Same argument. Remember when Derek Carr got his money? It was like, man, $25 million. That's a lot of money to pay him.
25, cheap now. 25, cheap. Shit. Look, Cowboys fans, we made a fuss about Tony getting 17.
Yeah, remember when Tony Romo got his second big contract at the end of his career? People were freaking out. They were like, "Why are you paying this dude all this money?"
But he started winning ball games. People shut the hell up.
That's the thing. Listen, man. Listen, I've seen people try to lowball Dak like 15 mil, 10 mil. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Well, those people are idiots, Space Guy.
Yes, I mean, listen, I don't have to be that. Yeah, that's easy to point out. I don't even have to.
That was Jason Whitlock for 100.
Yeah.
He should get 17 million, something like that.
See, here's the thing. We can all say, listen. We understand that football is a meritocracy, like my boy Tony Romo said, right? if football is a meritocracy, and you can argue it's, it's a job on commission, you get paid on how well you do, right? Dak Prescott isn't like doing trash and he's not bad. He's doing what he's got to do to win ball games, right? And the fact of the matter is that Dak Prescott has so many great intangibles, and people will be like, "Oh, well, you can't measure a quarterback." Why not? We do that with Tom Brady. We do that with Drew Brees. We do that with any other successful quarterback. But the minute that we bring up Dak Prescott, it's, oh, you can't do that because he sucks. And I think that that's something that I find, absolutely egregious to do. Listen, you pay the man what he wants, because guess what? I've said this over and over again. Dak Prescott has all the leverage. You really think the Cowboys got leverage? Dak Prescott's representatives probably went to the Cowboys and said, listen, man, we're at least looking at 33 or 32. And you might say, Space Cowboy, you're stupid for thinking that. Well, when your guy, or you're the guy you're representing, has an offensive rookie of the year, 2 Pro Bowls. He's led your team to the playoffs twice and won a playoff game, and put up the statistics he put up, being the first and only quarterback to score 20-plus passing touchdowns and 5-plus rushing touchdowns in his first 3 seasons. You really think that you're gonna you really think that they're not gonna have an argument? Come on.
Yeah. I tell you what though, man, go ahead and pay that boy now, because when he win that Super Bowl, he getting extended, getting that $40 million, and Jason Garrett getting paid, and everybody getting paid when they got that Super Bowl. But hey man, we had a cool little show. Last minute, spur of the moment. Thank y'all fellas for coming through. Space Cowboy is a Dallas Cowboy YouTuber. Trying to blow him up, trying to get him at least to 5,000 subs. I'm gonna let him fly pelican, you know what I'm saying? Get him out of my hair, but you know what I'm saying? We trying to monetize this man's channel so he can have some bread on the back end, you know what I'm saying? Space Cowboy, plug your shit, man.
Yeah, sure. Give me 1 second.
What the hell you mean? Plug, that ain't how this work.
Listen here, fam. Look, I just dropped my channel link in the chat. I see 180 people in here. Man, if you're not subscribing to me, you are doing yourself a disservice. You're not getting educated, all right? Mm-hmm. Listen, I do this stuff for a living, but not the Cowboy stuff, but research. That's what I do for a living. But in all seriousness, listen, Voch, Law, it was great talking to you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on, educate the Cowboys population, you know what I mean? And you can follow me on Twitter at space_cowboy_17. You can also subscribe to me on YouTube with the provided links. If you are too lazy to do the links, you can search in the tab bar and you can look up Space Cowboy 17, and I should pop right up there. And man, we only got 48 likes, man. Hit the like button, man.
What I really now I don't push everybody, because there are 50 or so Cowboy YouTubers, whatever. I only really fuck with like 8 of us, if that. But what I like about Space Cowboy, he reminds me so much of myself in this way that I almost got 40,000 subs now, but even when I had like 800 subs, I was still talking shit to people that I felt was wrong. You know what I'm saying? If I felt you was wrong, I'm talking shit about you because you're wrong. I'm gonna tell you why. If you're being emotional, I'm telling you that you're being emotional. The first time I saw Space Cowboy, he was at a round table with like 6 people, and he was telling all 5 of their asses that you're wrong. And I can appreciate that kind of fight.
Like that.
I love that kind of fight, man. Plus, you know what he's talking about. He's gonna be my stat guy at some point. So salute to him. That's why he's here. Brother Law Nation, what's good, man? Plug your stuff.
Oh man, I'm on Roku, Twitter, Twitch, and of course on 2 channels on YouTube. Just follow me at LAWS Nation, and you'll see my face or logo. But also, guys, man, at the sound of my voice, please follow Space Cowboy for putting the information, and also for the population, for the nation, man. He getting that stuff going one way or another. So you guys go follow his page, man. And Space Cowboy, like you said, Voch, the boy, dude, have the knowledge and have the amplitude and the altitude to put things out there for everybody to understand. And I like it. Yeah, I just like it, man.
Quit following these scrubs and follow. I try to be humble, but that's the facts. Quit following these scrubs out here, and the damn real ones out here need more subs. The real ones need more subs, but y'all following the peanut gallery out here. Y'all following these clickbaity cats. Y'all following these cats that's out here trying to follow somebody else's blueprint. It's trying to be somebody else. Oh snap! EDP got a lot of subs because he talks shit to people. Let me talk shit to people, and hopefully I get subs. But I'm gonna be nonchalant about it. I'm gonna act like the subs don't matter. Shut your goofy ass up.
What you call ADP, like empty calories, right? You're not getting no information for to grow yourself, man. You're just getting a lot of empty calories.
Following these
Voch
scrubs.
Lombardi, man. Follow Voch.
They follow
Look,
me anyway.
Voch, I got to tell you the story, man. I walked outside to check my mailbox. My neighbor came out to me and said, "Hey, man, you be doing the Cowboys talk, but have you ever heard of this guy? He's sharp on point." I pull up the video. And all I heard was "Yah-ha! Woo, woo, yah-ha! Woo." I said, "I know that guy." He's from my hometown, man. Voch. He said, "Man, that boy is sharp, man."
Well,
Way out here.
goddamn, I tell you what, man. Shouts out to your neighbor because they follow valid information. That's why they follow me, and that's why they follow Law Nation. But they don't follow these scrubs out here. That's out here trying to catch a wave. That's out here trying to get a dollar. That's out here trying to manipulate people for the views. These scrubs out here. They have nothing.
I just do this so I don't get fined.
They have nothing but emotion. Nothing but emotion. They hop on the YouTube. And do these live streams, and they be like, "I don't even be on YouTube like that." Bitch, you on YouTube like that?
Said name names over here.
Listen, man. No. Listen, man. One last thing, man.
What's wrong with these scrubs?
Listen, one last thing, fan. Everyone out there that's watching, don't be afraid to do your own research. You'd be surprised what you can find out looking by yourself. Well, don't look at that fake news crap. Don't look at PFF. Fake football. I'm
gonna be like EDP, but I'm gonna be a Cowboy fan. I'm gonna get some rants, and you know how I know I'm faking the rant? Because I'm gonna put in the title that it's a rant, and I'm gonna say at the beginning of the video that it's a rant. I'm gonna set the rant up, then go on a rant, then go viral. Because I want to be like EDP. Shut your goof ass up.
Hey, Space Cowboy, did you say PFF Pro Fake Football?
Yeah, dude, I
like that. I like it.
Listen, I know I'm self-promoting. Listen, my last stream was dedicated to ripping Pro Football Focus. I never, and I repeat, never encourage anyone to give me Pro Football Focus all that crap, because I'm going to look at you like you're... Listen, man, I look at statistics for a living. That is my degree. That is what I'm getting my master's for. And if you give me those fake statistics, I'm going to laugh in your face, man.
Scary ass is talking about Dallas Cowboy YouTubers, talking about Mark Holmes, talking about Law Nation, talking about Voch Lombardi. Tag me then. Bet you won't tag me in it. Hell no. Scrubs out here. Anyway, I'm done. I ain't giving it no more attention, man. And I know I've been doing this for 3 shows in a row, Space Cowboy. Every time I bring him in, say, "Yo, Voch, don't give it no attention." I say, "Cool. I'm not giving it." But this shit burns me up a little bit, man. Why they get all the subs? And this ain't me hating on them, because I got more subs than them. You know what I'm saying? But people like Space Cowboy need the real support, man. Go click on his damn channel, because you might learn something. You know what I'm saying? You click Voch, you click Law, you click Mark Okoye Foots, Space Cowboy, you watch us and you take something away from it. You don't just click a Voch video and be like, "Boy, Voch was talking that shit that day." I was giving some information. I may have been talking shit, but you learned something that day. You know what I'm saying? Follow the information and not the people. That's all I got to say, man. Like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I drop random ass film session live streams in the middle of the week just like this. Brother Dave just dropped 20 up here. What's up, Unc? Hey, man, thanks everybody for tuning in. Law Nation, Space Cowboy 17. We couldn't get Foots up in here. We going to get Foots up in here at some point. And Okoye Media to bring the round table back. This was a triangular table, but we got it done. Don't worry about it. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski. Peace, Whiskey is free. Salute.